So welcome to Learning Activity 8. This is somewhat updated from what had been here before, so hopefully you haven't had a chance to watch anything yet. So we have 4 objectives and basically 4 key assignments you're going to work on. So you're going to explore, there's a list of websites following this that are good ideas and helpful for creating lessons in science ed. Some pretty good content. Some of them hopefully you haven't seen before. Some of them should be relatively interesting though. But you're going to do a write-up of the ones that you did explore, and then you're going to write a lesson plan based on that selected website. And what I have for number 3 is create an introductory video for your lesson. 3 to 5 minutes and using some type of science equipment. This is something that you'll see a little bit more about later on. And then just to kind of keep you working on your semester-long project, I'd like for you to think about the theories that you've worked on so far this semester and try to make a connection between what your semester-long project is about and what you're going to have your students doing for that and one of the theories that you have researched, and just kind of work on a narrative that can be included on your website for that theory and project. Okay, so there's 3 parts to this. The first part, when you open it up, you'll see content integration. So the gist of everything that you're being asked to do. The hope is that you're going to start being able to see how to add in additional content, not just science. So, for example, with this one, for the GLOBE program, you'll go to www.globe.gov, and what you explore on this, if you choose this to create your lesson plan, you're going to create a lesson that focuses on math, but also obviously includes science. Since this is a science methods course, we're going to assume that everything connects to science. But I'd like for you to choose one of these things that also connects to another content area. So if you scroll down through here, it gives you all 6 of the options, and I'd like for you to choose 2 of the websites from above. Describe how you're going to use these to teach multiple content areas. Make sure that when you're describing those, after you've selected your 2 and you've gone through the descriptions and reviewed them, that you provide a reference list. So specific people, sites, and STA materials that could help someone else in teaching this. So the write-up of the 2 websites should be at least 750 to 1250 words and include your notes, along with ideas for using those. I have it as something being longer because these websites are there's a lot of details on them. There's a lot of things that you can explore in them. So I'm going to go back to LA8, the overview. And if we go down to the bottom, things to turn in, this is where you're going to turn in just the websites that you did. Okay? You don't have to share that on a discussion board. Turn it in here, and I'll give you credit for that. All right, so now let's go back to, let me scroll down here. Overview of the learning activity. So for part 2, so you've explored your websites, figured out what works for you. Now we're going to take it a little further and actually develop your lesson plans. What I would like is something original. I know that all of these websites have lesson plans that are already created, but I want something that will work for your students. And remember the whole, you have to teach a lesson. This is your second opportunity to create that lesson plan that you will teach to your students. And I'll talk a little bit more about how that's going to work in a bit. Okay, so when you come back after looking at part 2, this is where you will actually turn in your lesson plan. Hopefully you can get some feedback from your group members if you would like, but make sure you have it turned into that spot following the 5E format. So then we get to part 3, and this is like I said, there are several parts to these, but these are all relatively helpful. So this last piece, and you can think about this as a really great, online teaching video. And you're going to find a particular tool or resource that you use to teach science. and you're going to give me the name of the equipment, what it's used for, what precautions, key things a student will need to look for, and then maybe some history, design, any of those things. This will all be included in a video. 3 to 5 minutes. Try not to go more than 5. Try not to go less than 3. Q-tips, not necessarily a scientific tool. You may not be able to put your hands on the tool that you're selecting, but you can still talk about it and show images for your students to understand what it's used for and how it's used. So there's a sign-up sheet here. Just make sure you put your name and don't fill in and take somebody else's spot. I know that's easy to do when we're all excited about what we want to research, but just be careful not to overlook what somebody else has already done. And all right, so overview, we've gone through all of that. One thing that I've done, each of these sets of videos talk about what you should look for in these particular websites, okay? They're super short YouTube videos that I created for you just to kind of help you think through what those sites have. Then we have the overview of the web page that is for your final project, and that's a video just kind of walking you through what you're going to see next. And this link, I believe, is the actual, guide for what that web page should have on it, including the rubric for what I'm looking for. Okay. I've given you one exemplar. You should be able to click on that and look at what someone has done in the past. But you've gotten some good ideas, I think, throughout the semester from looking at other student-created websites. All right. So the tools, that's the only thing that you're going to post on a discussion topic. Given how crazy things are right now, you don't have to respond to anybody. I'd like for you to at least look at what other people have done, because it may be something you can use and share with your class, but you don't have to respond to other people. This project narrative, I do want to see that, because I want to know that you're connecting that semester-long project to some theories that you've explored throughout the semester. So hopefully this clears some things up for you for Learning Activity 8. And otherwise, let me know if you have questions. And I believe this is a 2-week unit. So you've got 2 weeks to finish the activities in here, and I will help you out when you need me.